Welcome, young friends, to a timeless tale about truth, patience, and understanding called God Sees the Truth, but Waits. Our story begins in the bustling city of Vladimir, Russia, where a kind and wealthy merchant named Aksionov lived with his loving family. Aksionov was known for his cheerful spirit and his beautiful singing voice, which often filled his home with joy. One day, Aksionov decided to travel to a fair to sell his goods, bidding farewell to his wife and children. His wife had a strange dream and worried about his journey, asking him not to go, but Aksionov reassured her and set off. On his way, he met another merchant and they decided to share an inn for the night. The next morning, Aksionov woke early and continued his journey alone, leaving the other merchant still asleep. Suddenly, a group of police officers stopped him, accusing him of a terrible crime, murdering the merchant he had shared the inn with. They found a bloody knife in his bag, which had been planted there, and despite his pleas of innocence, he was arrested. Aksionov was sent to Siberia, a cold and distant land, to serve a long sentence in prison. For 26 long years, Aksionov lived in prison, growing old and gray, but he never lost his faith. He became known as grandfather among the other prisoners, respected for his wisdom and kindness. He spent his days reading the Bible and praying, finding comfort in his belief that God knew the truth. One day, a new prisoner arrived, a man named Makar Semyonik, who was also from Vladimir. Aksionov felt a strange feeling when he heard Makar speak, recognizing something familiar in his voice. Makar Semyonik began to tell stories of his past, including a time when he had escaped from prison years ago. He also mentioned a merchant from Vladimir who was falsely accused of murder, and Aksionov realized Makar was the true culprit. Aksionov confronted Makar, asking him about the murder, and Makar, filled with guilt, confessed everything. Makar admitted he had killed the merchant and planted the knife in Aksionov's bag, causing all his suffering. Aksionov, instead of being angry, felt pity for Makar, seeing his deep remorse. Makar begged for forgiveness, promising to confess to the authorities so Aksionov could be freed. Aksionov told him, "God will forgive you," and felt a great peace wash over him. Makar Semyonik confessed his crime to the prison governor, hoping to right the terrible wrong he had done. The governor began the process to release Aksionov, but sadly, before the papers arrived, Aksionov passed away peacefully. His long wait for justice was over, and he found true freedom in his heart. This story teaches us that even when things seem unfair, truth always finds its way, and forgiveness can bring peace. It reminds us to have faith and patience, just like Aksionov, knowing that God sees everything. Thank you for joining us on this journey of truth and forgiveness.